Hey everybody, it's Brent Harvey with A-Hole Productions, and today is Throwback Thursday, where you get to learn about me and how I got to where I am, and Joanna on other days. And this is our origin story. And today I'm really excited because I get to talk about the TV show that has influenced me the most as a writer, as a director, and I don't know, it's just one of those nostalgic things where you know, there's a story behind it, which I'm going to tell you, but growing up, the Twilight Zone, if you look right here, I have an unopened box set of the entire thing, which is like the greatest Christmas present somebody got me, finally. I never would buy it for myself, but finally somebody in my family bought it for me. If I remember, it was my sister. I'd have to look, but I was like jacked because, you know, it's another thing close and near and dear to my heart because there's just something about the Twilight Zone as a kid. It never scared me, but I always loved to see the journeys that people went on, and there were always lessons in there. I loved like magic and mystery and things like that, and trying to figure things out. And so what would happen is, you know, didn't have cable or anything until my dad got it when I was early teenager or something like that, and I was at his house every other weekend type thing. So, you know, this is before streaming and everything, so I would kind of gamble on catching it. If I ever caught an episode playing back on TV Land or something, like, I was just so excited because at the time it seemed like they were endless because I'd catch one every once in a while. I didn't know how many episodes there were, and they'd play them out of order and everything. But every time I heard that doo 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 doo, and then Rod Serling would come on, you know, and say the opening thing, and I was just like, what's it gonna be this week? And it was just an amazing thing of, like, you know, excitement of mystery. And then what happened is, if I remember correctly, on New Year's Eve every year, they would do a Twilight Zone marathon, and they would play every single episode of Twilight Zone, but in random, but for, you know, 24 hours on New Year's Eve all the way to New Year's Day. I never got to sit for the entire day. My parents would never let me. But I would just, if I would sit down, I would hunker down, get food and everything, sit on the couch as long as possible, and catch as many as I could watch in the time that I was allotted. But every episode that I did catch had an impact on me, and I still remember each one clearly. And so when it came out on streaming, and then they had the box set and everything, I literally went back to the ones I remember, and every time I watch it, I remember the feeling I had and the excitement, what the room felt like, and, you know, what time of year it was and everything. But the craziest thing is about 6-7 years ago, I'd done a couple films by then. I'd written a bunch. I realized I was writing something, or I was watching one of my films, and I realized the main influence in my writing was Twilight Zone. Everything had a twist to it. Everything had a lesson to it. Supernatural things were always possible and happening, but they weren't ridiculous. It was, I don't know how to explain it, but I realized at that moment just how impactful, not just emotionally, but creatively, how impactful Twilight Zone was to me, and it still is. Like, every time, you know, before bed, I'll put on an episode, or, you know, I might just play them all in one day. There's something about it. It never gets boring. The writing is so good. The acting was so good. It was revolutionary for its time. And I strive as an artist, as an actor, as a writer, even as a director, to do something as influential and as powerful as the Twilight Zone. And as an adult now, I realize how intelligent it really was, because Rod Serling was created a hub where artists could come and speak about society, politics, and voice their opinion of the world, and do it under the disguise of sci-fi. And I think that's one of the most powerful things we can do with art is educate people, change minds, change belief systems through entertainment. So it doesn't feel like you're being preached to, you're being entertained, and then as a byproduct you think, or vice versa, however it impacts you. But the whole thing is I realized as an adult how powerful of a tool that was that Rod Serling was using. But as a kid it was just entertaining to me, but yet it seeped through. So I don't know, I get geeked out on Twilight Zone, and just everything about it, the feeling of it, the crackling, the theme song, Rod Serling, camera moves, everything. So anyways, I'll shut up. I could go on forever, but my two favorite episodes are I think the most powerful one is the Obsolete Man, which you have to watch. It's the first one, end of season 2, I believe. But the Obsolete Man really speaks to society as a whole, and it's relevant today as well. And the other one, oh man, there's so many of them. I'll tell you next time. I have to pick, but there's really good ones. Anyways, I'm Brent Harvey with A-Hole Productions. This has been Throwback Thursday. If you have, tell me what was a TV show or a movie, something that influenced you the most as a artist that maybe you didn't realize till later on, but something that just you see it come through in your voice. I'd love to see that, see what you guys come up with. And don't be ashamed. We all have, I'll tell you my first concert later on. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'll tell you if you stay tuned in. Share this with anybody that you feel could benefit from it, because we're just trying to connect with the global artistic community and motivate and inspire others to do the same. So, this is Brent Harvey, always being an a-hole. Go off, be one yourself. It's okay. People love you for it. See ya.